due to demand, we're gonna do a range test today. We've had this guy charging overnight. It says it's 100%, 53.1 volts, which we can get into why that isn't higher. But and then just to confirm that that voltage reading is correct, I'm gonna go ahead and put the voltmeter on. 53 point, it's close. We'll check the other battery, but I think we're in the ballpark. Yeah, I'd say all these are going to be plus or minus 0.1 volts, which I understand is kind of a lot, but hey, this is pretty unscientific. Anyway, and then so we have a nice 4-mile run. It's all super hilly. We're going to throw a bunch of weight in the back. We got some more. We'll aim for about a 100-pound payload. And we'll see how many 4-mile round trips we can make before we hit that 50% mark. Here we go. Okay, we got 3 35-pound sandbags, 105 pounds in the back.
I'm like exactly
here.
110 pounds there.
I'm 60.
Okay, 170-pound passenger payload.
okay.
And a dog. Trip number 1. Okay, they're back from trip number 1, so 4 miles of hill country. We're at 52.5. The JK BMS is indicating we're at about 87%. So we'll take her out and try it again. Here we go. Round 2. All right. They're back from trip number 2. 52.3 volts, which is in line with what the BMS is saying, and pretty, again, within a 0.1 of what the Rhenology display is saying. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened. At some point on their second trip, the display here reset to 0. Not sure what's up with that, so I'm removing it from this part of the test. And you can actually see just in the last minute with the battery resting, it bumped back up to 52.5. But I'll have the screenshot of the BMS in there, and we'll go on trip number 3. Back from trip 3, that's about 12 miles of rocky terrain. We're sitting at 52.6 after resting for a second. And that is more or less in line with the BMS, which I'll post here. I'm gonna stop using the Klein because it's all been pretty even. Battery's saying about 62%, so we'll keep going. That was the end of our 4th trip. Just a little bit of information about the run. It's 2 miles, but it's rocky, gravel, and some pretty steep hills. There was multiple hills where we were sustaining between 10 and 14, 15 kilowatts, so pretty much maxing out the motor. BMS held up fine in that situation. So yeah, pretty, I would, and you know, we're in high gear. I was in single wheel drive for most of it. So this is probably like worst case scenario, you know, like really difficult terrain, really pushing the whole system. And even then, you know, 16 miles roughly, and probably still a little bit to spare before fully tapping out of the 50% mark. I'd say if you're on flat ground, if you're on paved roads, anything else like that, the salt flats, you know, your mileage will vary, and you'll probably get a lot more mileage than we did. Range, a lot more range than we did. Anyway, yeah, that's that. I think this project's pretty much done, I hope. Fingers crossed. It's been a couple years in the making. Everybody was right on the comments. There's way simpler ways to do it. You probably don't need any of the relays. You could get rid of all that stuff. Just get your batteries. Good BMS system that can talk in parallel. And, you know, give yourself a cumulative 400 amps at least. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to think that this is a good display. There's probably better displays out there. It's been a little fussy. I haven't really been able to get it calibrated, and it does this weird thing once in a while where it just zeroes out on its own. So that, not super jazzed there. The rest of the system, you know, we'll see. Time will tell. But all right, thanks for watching. Cheers.